Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Follow Your Passion podcast. I'm your host, Erwin Wils. I'm a mindset and business strategist and founder of Millionaire Life Strategy. In this podcast, I'm interviewing my clients and other entrepreneurs that are following their passion and make a good living out of it. When you want to know more about me or what I can do for you, check out my website, millionaireLifestrategy.com. But first, check out this episode of Follow Your Passion. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Follow Your Passion. I'm Erwin Wils. I'm your host, and I'm a mindset coach and business strategist and founder of Millionaire Life Strategy. And in this podcast, we're interviewing entrepreneurs that are following their passion. Please let me introduce my guest for today. She is Smita Das Jain. After 14 years of work in the corporate world, in leadership roles with Fortune 500 companies, she decided to follow her passion. She launched the Empower Yourself coaching program, and as a certified personal empowerment life coach and executive coach, she already had close to 150 coaching hours in the first year. Not only that, but she also pursued her passion as a writer. And in that same year, she already had a fiction bestseller on her name. And how do you know she's following her passion? Because every day she gets up with a smile on her face. Please welcome Smita Das Jain. Hi, Smita. Welcome.
Hi, Erwin. Thank you so much for having me here on your podcast.
Yes, you're definitely welcome. More than welcome to follow because, having the Empower Yourself coaching program, it's so similar to what I'm doing. So I love to have you in the show. So tell me a bit, what made you decide after 14 years working in the corporate world to just quit your job and follow your own passion?
So actually, this story starts a little while back, when I was in my 11th or 12th year of working. And there was a day, that time, that was pre-COVID, right? There was a moment of time when I was so busy. I didn't know when my mornings used to start. And many a times I used to fall on bed exhausted, often with the laptop on my side. My family was never sure about my availability. And somewhere, for some reason, I didn't want to work that much, but all I seemed to do was work. And I was deeper and deeper submerging into this cesspool of busyness, as I call it now. Until one fine day, that was a weekday. I remember it because that was the day when the annual promotion list of the company that I used to work in then, that had come out.
Yeah.
And that for some reason that day was even busier than normal. So I was in back-to-back client meetings. I didn't have time to check the internal mails. My phone was continuously on silence. I had put it on silence because there was some escalation going on in the project I was doing then now as a management consultant. I was heading that project. And then it was only towards the late evening when I came home and managed to spend some time with the family. Then again, the lights went off and I opened my laptop to finish some pending work. That I remembered, okay, this email had come, which had the promotion list. And I opened that email and I saw my name in that list. And the feeling that I got was indifference. I had worked so hard. I was working hard. And then I realized this is what one works for, right? The rewards, the recognition. And if once the recognition comes, once the reward comes, firstly, I didn't have time to enjoy that laurel. Heck, I didn't even attended any calls and congratulatory messages that came when I saw the phone later. I didn't have time to see it from afternoon till late night. Secondly, of course, my family was asleep till then. I didn't have anyone to share this big news at that moment of time. The sad part was I didn't even want to. This big thing and you were taking it as if, it's just a matter of fact. And that is when I realized this is not how life is supposed to go. Okay, I had not slogged to get the best of education in some of the most prestigious universities in my country.
Mm-hmm.
I had not slogged to get a great placement. And after that, I had not slogged for 11, 12 years. That was the time then. Working in a high profile role in a marquee company, only to work, eat, and sleep. I mean, that is not how life was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that was the day, at least one positive thing that came out of this incident was I decided, okay, I will take control of my time rather than letting time control me.
Nice.
So that was the key, actually. Okay, this, I would say, this drive, this intent to have control of your time, because there are things I wanted to do in life, right? And unless I had time, I was not being able to do those things. And I didn't want to spend the next 12 years of my life as I had spent my last 12 years of working.
Yeah.
So that was the key. And then I started to connect with those small things. Okay, I had stopped going out to walk because I had this notion I didn't have time. So I made a pact with myself, I'll at least walk for 10 minutes every day and I'll find time for it somehow. And once I started small, that okay, when you say okay that you have to walk and you have to lose wealth, you have weight, you have to be fit, it seems like a big goal. But when you just start small, okay, I'll walk for 5 or 10 minutes every day, it somehow seems manageable, right?
Yeah.
And that was when I started to find time for the things I liked. And that was when I realized, okay, that when I was in school, I used to write a lot. Write as in fiction, those creative stories and articles. And of course, I continued writing while I joined my corporate job. The only difference is that creative stuff was replaced by reports and presentations and thought leadership and business articles. I had written a lot of them. And somehow in between that, I'd lost touch with my creative side. So I again, while finding time to do those small things I liked or used to like once, I rediscovered I would say I rekindled my love affair with writing. And that was when those small short stories, those creative pieces, which I wrote and kept to myself and circulated amongst my closest friends. That's it. And life continued as normal for the next 2 years. Like I was as I said, that was like I had completed 12 years of working when this incident happened. And there was some improvement. And then, I worked for 2 more years. What happened, like a year after this incident, pandemic struck. And for most people, it was a period of introspection for me. Okay. I had spent a lot of time, even before the pandemic, since I was, finding time for the small things, these questions had started to occur in my mind. What was I doing? What am I doing? Okay, I'm earning money. Okay, I have a high profile role. Okay, in the eyes of other people, I was very successful, but I was not feeling fulfilled. Okay. Pursuing those small things outside my work was helping me sustain through the work hours. Like, I used to go through the day thinking, okay, in the evening, I will read or I'll go for a walk or I'll play my guitar. So, okay. So evenings became the reason for me to go through the mornings and the rest of the day.
Oh, wow.
But then anyway, I was having these questions that, okay, is this how I want to spend the rest of my life? Then the pandemic struck and the world, as we know, will never be the same. It is still not the same as it was. And that is when I realized life is too short and too uncertain to do the things you don't enjoy doing. I mean, it's not worth it. It's not even worth the money that I was earning. I mean, it was okay. I will admit that it was easier for me to say because I'd already worked for 14 years. Had I been at the entry level, maybe my thought process would have been different. But at that stage, I had the cushion of, reaching at a certain level and having that, amount of cushion, that backup to follow my passions. And I decided, okay, I don't want to spend my rest of the weekdays looking forward to the weekends. I don't want to spend my Monday waiting for a Friday anymore. I want every day to be like a Friday, be it a Monday or a Sunday. And what happened, when you start thinking about certain things, the universe also shows you some path. Okay. I mean, that's what happens. So at the same time, when I was contemplating, I was actually thinking, okay, I quit and I'll pursue writing and I'll also pursue something else, because writing for me, I'm a passionate writer, but I know that if I have to do it 12 hours a day, I might not enjoy it so much. Vis-a-vis if I do it for 2-3 hours a day, that
Yeah.
much by that I knew it about myself. So and I was not a sort of person who would be engaged doing housework. I mean, I absolutely respect homemakers. My mother was one. A lot of wonderful ladies I know are one. But I know myself that I would go mad if I were to just,
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
at home and look after that stuff.
Yeah. You need
Just
people
think,
around you.
yes, I need people to talk to. I need to engage my brain creatively and also analytically. So the
Yeah.
creative stuff was taken care of by writing, but I wanted something. I knew that I had to find something else. And that was when, again, I said, the universe threw you certain answers. One, I had written those small pieces some time back, as I was explaining, and circulated it amongst my friends. One friend sent me the short story that I had only written. He sent that same to me, and he's like, you had written it 2 years ago. When are you planning to publish it? Because it was so good. By that time, I had forgotten that I had written that story, and I started reading it. And when I started reading it, I texted that friend in the middle of reading that story. And I'm like, are you sure that I have written it? Because I'm an avid reader. And while going through it, I found the story so good that I couldn't believe that I would write as engaging a story. And that was a fact. And I am like, are you playing a joke on me? Are you sure this is the story that I have written and sent to you? He's like, yeah, absolutely. That is why I'm saying it's so great. Go ahead and publish it. And I was like, okay, yeah, this story is good. Like, from a third party perspective, as a reader, I couldn't believe, I mean, I could see the merit in that. Unfortunately, we are living in an era of Amazon KDP and all. So publishing something is actually not a big deal. So the same night, I remember this was sometime in February 2021. I remember, just fiddling with Amazon KDP, just trying to figure out, okay, it was said that it is easy to publish via KDP, just trying to figure out how it works. And the next thing I know, the same night, the book is up. By the next morning, I am an author. I mean, that is how it started as an experiment. So I
Yeah.
realized, okay, I have the talent. There is a medium for me to display that talent.
Yeah.
There is no barrier, and one can go ahead and do it. So the same day the book got published, I typed my resignation letter and sent it to my boss.
Oh,
That,
wow.
okay, this is what I enjoy. It was not that was the first story. I'm not saying it was a bestseller or something, but the feedback was amazing, and I enjoyed doing it. And I just told my boss that I want to enjoy the rest of my life, and this is what I'm doing. I figured out one of the things I want to do. I'll figure out the other things.
Nice.
And then I sent my notice, and I spent the 2 months of notice period after that to figure out, my game plan. Up until then, I had nothing, but I knew that unless I took that step, I will not be able to have anything. I will continue in the same world, which I was not enjoying.
Yeah.
So because I took that step, it made me think. I utilized that period to think. I asked my closest friends about my strengths, and when they said, and I realized that one of the good things about me throughout my career had been my managerial capabilities. I was considered to be a good leader, and
Mhm.
I enjoyed interacting with people. I enjoyed people. I enjoyed, challenging people to exceed their best
Yeah.
and achieve a certain outcome. And that is when I realized that, taking that to the next level, why limit myself within a certain circle in the organization I work in? Why not take it that to the next level where I use this strength of mine to empower people to take control of their life? For me,
Nice.
empowerment is something that symbolizes taking control, taking control, be it of your time, be it of your life, be it of your health. So that is what, so that is how the thought of empower yourself came to my mind. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to be a coach. And that's
Yeah.
where that journey started. I enrolled in multiple certifications, both in writing and coaching. So there was a period sometime last year when I was having like 6 courses in a day, going from one class to another.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. And yeah, so, and the thing that I did, I realized that all the learning that I was doing, it is best I put it into practice right away. So I didn't I didn't wait for my certification to finish to launch my business. The day I enrolled for the certification was the day I announced to the world. World is in my WhatsApp status change, my LinkedIn status change that I was a coach. And I reached out to people I knew that, okay, this is what I'm offering. And if you, since I'm just starting, if you'd like to try it for free, because I wanted practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after a period, if you liked it, you can take a paid coaching for me. But the first month is free. So 4 sessions was
Yeah.
offering. And so from May 2021, I was learning how to be a coach and I was also coaching clients. The great thing was the first 3 pro bono clients I took all opted for the paid coaching
Nice.
after that pro bono period ended. And that's how my passion turned into a profession, as I
Nice.
keep on
Yeah.
saying.
So that must have been satisfying that your first 3 pro bono clients became paid clients. So that means you're doing something great, right?
Yes. I mean, I was not expecting that, to be honest. But then I was into coaching. I mean, I was into coaching certification long enough to know that we tend to underestimate ourselves.
Yeah.
So the results showed something else. And that was like very, and it's not that I didn't even have to ask 2 of them if you would like to take up this. They said that we don't want it to stop because we are going somewhere and we'd like to continue. So what
Nice.
is your price? So my first clients actually asked me, what is your price? And by that time, I mean, I didn't even had a package ready when the client asked me this question. So I had to
Yeah.
create something on the spot. But yeah, that was how it started.
Nice. Nice. I remember when I started 7 years ago that my trainer also said, if I was following a hypnotherapy training, like I shared with you, and he said, if you're serious about this, you need to make the hours, because you only learn it by applying it, right? And I also said, I started in March with the training. In August, I would get my certification. So I said all my sessions I'm giving till August are free of charge because it's part of my training. But the moment I get certified, I find that I can ask money for it, right?
Mm.
And I put in a little ad on Facebook in a close group in my neighborhood, saying that I was doing this, and I needed volunteers to help me make the hours. And within 2 days, I had like 34 volunteers. So it's amazing, and the moment you see the results with your client is motivating to keep on going and to know that you're on the right path.
Yes, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
the same with me. I mean, it was great that within the first month of starting my coaching business, I had these validation from my clients that they wanted to go for paid coaching. And that was even before I had finished my certification. I got my
Nice.
certification in November last year, but before that, I already had paid clients before that. So
Yeah,
it was
nice.
never a worry for me at how to start my business, how to get paid clients and all. It just happened so organically.
Yeah. And how does it feel to be an entrepreneur and be your own boss, to be in control?
Oh, it feels absolutely great. The good part is, uh, I mean, nothing beats being in control of your time. Okay. Nothing beats being able to set your day. Uh, I have the choice of working with the people I'm working with. I mean, as an employee, even if you're in a senior position, you don't always have that choice. You might have it as you go higher, but you won't
Mm-hmm.
have it 100% of the time. Something
Yeah.
that you do when you are an entrepreneur. And best part is, this is a business, this is work. I don't even feel that it's work. Okay. When I work with clients and then when those aha moments come, when clients achieve an outcome, the satisfaction that comes in their faces, I mean, nothing can beat it. So,
Yeah.
and I can't believe that I'm getting paid for something that I enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
nothing beats that feeling actually.
Yeah. And if someone would ask you how many hours a week do you work, do you have an answer to that?
Oh, yes. I mean, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So 40 hours a week. It's a 9 to 5. The only thing, the regular 9 to 5, which I was supposed to work in the corporate world, the difference was it was never a 9 to 5 there. It always used to exceed. Now it is pretty much 8 hours a day, no more than that. But purposely, I make it a point, it's not less than that, because I'm a some would call me an organized and systemic person. I would take it in a positive way, a systematic person. I am like that. Uh, I feel I am much more creative if I follow a certain routine. And I think, getting up early in the morning, hours actually start. I said 9 to 5 in the sense it's an 8 hour thing, but my hour actually starts at 5 in the morning. That is
Oh,
the
wow.
time I get up and write. That is my writing, the fiction writing period, not the
Yeah.
non-fiction. So the 5 is when I get up. Till 7 in my place, everybody is asleep. So 5 to 7 is when I, write my fiction, because
Hmm.
nobody disturbs me at that time.
Yeah.
And then I get up and water my plants, get up from my desk, wake up my daughter to get her ready for school. And I drop her to school. I spend time reading newspapers. Then again at 10 a.m., I am back here. And the rest of the 6 hours during the day, I either coach, or when it's not that the entire 6 hours, I'm like coaching, coaching, coaching. But yeah, 2 hours out of those 6 hours would be like coaching per day. The rest of the time I spend either on my blogs, or spend time on marketing activities. And I'm also a speaker related to my coaching only. So, either I'm speaking or I'm writing a speech. So it goes on that kind of enabling activities that support your core offering, which is
Yeah.
coaching. But I make it a point to keep that routine. Yeah.
Nice.
So long answer to your short question.
Yeah, but it's great that you manage your time very efficiently, right? You have structured your time, which means that you also have available time for your friends, for your daughter, for your family. That's very important. What I also hear you say is that you're not only working in your business, but you're also working on your business. And a lot of entrepreneurs forget how important that is, right?
Yeah. And especially when you're starting out, like I'm starting out, I've not even completed 1 year of coaching. If I have to look at it, I started last May. Especially at the time of starting out, it's very important. You have to work on your business. Until
Yeah.
and unless you work on your business, you will not, there will come a time you will not be in business. So it's
Yeah.
very, very important. And yeah, the more you work now, the less you will have to work on it later. I don't think there will be a stage when you ever stop working on your business. But yeah, the proportion will come down as your roster keeps on getting filled up and you build your brand.
Yeah.
But I feel that as a coach, I have so much to serve the world, right? But it's not that, okay, people will come to me on their own. People need to know that, okay, there is a Smita Das Jain who helps us, who empowers people to transform their passion into a profession. They need to know that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
unless I spend time in making people aware of this, strength of mine, then I will not be able to serve them. And
Exactly.
that is what keeps me motivated to work on my business, because I want to be in this business. And I
Yeah.
know it is important for me to work on so that
Yeah.
I can be here for the
Yeah.
long term.
So could you share some examples of results you've booked with your clients? Is there one particular story that stands out for you that gives you this feeling of this is the reason why I do what I'm doing right now?
Uh, is this question about a particular coaching story that happened during the
Yeah,
internet?
if you had a client, you don't need to name the person, of course, but
Hmm.
just an experience you had that I would say validated that you're on the right path, that this is what you're
Hmm.
supposed to do.
Yeah. So That was actually my very first client I worked with. Okay, so when she came to me, we came from similar backgrounds. Like she was also in the corporate world
Mm-hmm.
and juggling with the same problems that I was at a point of time. She came to me that, I am at a senior role, but my day goes in tactical matters. I don't have time to think. And as a result, I'm drowning in those operational work when I want to spend more time towards strategic work. And that is the reason she was not enjoying her job, to the extent that she was like, okay, I want to quit, but I don't know what I would like to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So through my coaching sessions, essentially it turned out it was not the actual job or the environment or even the role that was an issue. The issue was this, that she is spending time on those operational matters, which anyway she had been doing when she started, right? And now she was at a senior position. But still, if 80 to 90% of your time goes towards that, you won't have much energy for those strategic inputs. And through our Empower Yourself coaching interventions, finally she was able to structure her time in such a way that this 80-20 became a 60-40 the other way, that 60% of her time was going on strategic, on those thinking matters, on taking decisions,
Yeah.
and the rest of it in operational matters. And at the end of it, she decided, okay, this is what I actually love, so I don't want to quit my job. After all, I don't even want to change my company, but this
Oh,
is what
nice.
I want my day to be like.
Nice.
And till date, I mean, of course, now I'm not coaching her for that particular goal. The goal has changed, but in this aspect, she is like, she's still enjoying her role and she's pretty much in control of her work time. So that
Perfect.
is what gave me the satisfaction. Like
Yeah.
somebody came to you saying that I want to quit, and at the end of it, no, I'm happy doing what I'm doing because I changed my day like this. So
Nice. And that shows that and I recognize it myself as well. If people come to you, they think they have a problem and they already think they have the solution. In this
Mhm.
case, she had the idea that she had to quit her job because she didn't like what she was doing. And but actually by finding the problem behind the problem, and really pinpointing it and finding the root cause, what made her feel miserable at her work, um, comes up with a solution she didn't even expect at the beginning, because she
Hmm.
already had a mindset that she had to quit her job because she had to find
Yes.
something else. You turn it around in showing her what she actually should do, what she should delegate to her employees and other people.
Yes.
And that's one, and that's the reason why it's good to have a coach to mirror your issues and your challenges, because
Yeah.
you get so caught up in your own idea that you're missing out the easy solutions. And this was actually an easy solution. By reorganizing her activities, she got the job she loved and she was supposed to do at that moment.
Yeah. I mean, a coach helps put things in the right perspective. You see things from a particular lens. A coach sees that same thing from a different, more objective lens. And she or he will apply more structured tools and techniques to help you arrive at a solution. Ultimately, you are coming to a coach for a solution. The solution is within you. But with the help of a coach, you will be able to arrive at a more appropriate solution in a quicker way than if you were
Yeah.
to, work on it on your own.
Yeah,
So,
nice,
yeah.
nice, great story, great examples, Mita, and that's the reason why people like us need to be here, right?
Yes, we have a purpose in the world and
Exactly.
we are making the world a better place. So,
Yeah. So, about your writing, how's that going? How's it working for you?
oh, I mean, nothing gives me more joy than, putting pen to paper, or should I say keyboard to MS Word, whatever way you
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's like 400 days straight that I've been getting up 5 in the morning and writing something. I mean, at my worst days, I write at least 500 words a day.
Oh, wow.
On my better days, it goes obviously because you will not be in the same flow every day.
Of course.
But the good thing is that, if you have it as a routine, see, earlier I had to force myself. I used to get up at 6. So it was not that I used to rise late, but still changing that 6 to 5 was a mind shift change.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
earlier I had to like push myself out of bed, and even switching on the computer at my work desk was an effort and all. But I realized that for after 10 days straight, once I got into the habit of switching on my laptop and opening a blank document, I realized, okay, I will not keep on staring at that blank document. If nothing else, I'll describe how the dark world looks like, how the table looks like. What do you feel? So
Yeah.
there are some days, when I don't feel like writing, but I force myself to write because it's a goal that, I have to write 500 words. And
Yeah.
those days I just describe what I'm feeling. That I don't want to write, I describe what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. That's,
But yeah, so that way, I mean, I know my writing journey has also started, but writer's block is a real challenge. So touch wood, I know that because of this habit, at least even in the days that I don't feel like writing, I won't struggle with writer's block. There was a phase last month itself that I didn't feel like writing much, but just because of this habit, I was putting some words onto paper and all. And even after not feeling like writing, I could finish 3 stories in that month, which was like my least productive month.
yeah. Nice.
uh, but yeah, so I released my first book last year. That was a bestseller. That was a short story collection. Now my second book is ready. It's a novel, so that's taking one level up, and the book is ready. In fact, I've completed fourth round of edits, and some publishers are evaluating it. So I'm
Nice.
waiting for their response, which should come within the next couple of months. If they pick it up, great. If not, I have anyway self-published. I know the tricks and tips. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, had I gone the self-publishing route, by now even the second book would have been out. But
Nice.
I'm waiting it out to see
Yeah.
if traditional publishing is also my cup of tea. If
Yeah.
it happens, great. If it not does not happen, I'm enjoying writing, so that's also fine. I will
Yeah.
anyway have a book.
And it's nice that you just share that what the power of habit can do for you, right? I remember that I once had a target for myself of putting little posts on LinkedIn
Hmm.
twice a week or 3 times a week. And at a certain moment, I also had some sort of writer's block, and I just wrote that down.
Huh.
I started something. You have those days that you don't know what to write, and when you force yourself, you put something on paper. But it's the habit and blah blah blah. And there it was. There I had my post for LinkedIn, and I
Yes.
just ended up with the questions. Do you recognize this? And it was very engaging because people recognize it.
Yeah.
And it's just what you said. If you don't feel like writing on a story or a novel or whatever, just write down what you're feeling or what you're
Exactly.
missing or whatever,
Or
and even that will start this creative process in your mind. And
yes.
maybe after half an hour, there will be something that you can use for a story or novel or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, you would have got something out of your system. Like, right, describing your feeling is the best way to get the negative feelings out
Oh
because you
yeah,
have it
definitely.
out somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so far, so good. I mean, that is one thing writing, Erwin, I can tell you. If you ask me 20 years down the line, what is the one thing you would be doing? I think my answer would still be the same, that I'm sure I'd be getting up at 5 in the morning every day and putting on those 2, 3 hours of writing. That is for sure.
Nice. Nice. So you just said you finished your second book, which is a novel. Um,
Yes.
already plans for a third one?
Oh, yes. The plot isn't mine. See,
Yeah,
the thing
stupid
is,
question, of course.
no, the thing is, okay, I don't only write one thing at a time. So a novel is one story, but I keep on writing those short stories. So I said last month was my least productive one because I wrote 3 short stories a month. Usually my run rate is that I write 2 short stories a week.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so every week, I mean, in a month, that way, 6 to 8 short stories do come out, and we live in a digital world. Okay, a
Yeah.
novel is an investment in time, so people have to invest a lot of time from start to finish to read that 500-page book.
Yeah.
A short story can be anything from, if it's a flash fiction, at 1,000 words. If it's a longer short story, it will be 5 to 6,000 words. But it does not take that much investment
Yeah. Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the point of view of a reader. So in this digital world where, occupying a mind space of a reader or a viewer is a challenge, a short story is a great way to, basically establish yourself as a writer in the minds of a reader. So I
Yeah.
keep on writing stories. I mean, as I say, I get up in the morning. It's basically these short stories I write when I feel like writing, which is most of the time. When I don't, I write something or the other. But yeah, I mostly write short stories
Yeah.
in fiction. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And with regards to your coaching business, do you have a certain niche that you serve?
Yes. So I work with mid-career corporate professionals, okay, between 25 to 45 years of age, uh, who uh, who earn well, but who don't have time to do all that they would like to do, and they don't find a sense of fulfillment in their jobs. So I first help them to find time to do all that they like, and then assist them in transforming their passion either into a pursuit or a profession. See, everybody needs to have a passion in life.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. If your profession is your passion, that's great, but you don't necessarily need, to have a passion as your profession. You can carry it outside your profession,
Yeah.
and that is what I call a pursuit. So depending on, what your passion is, what do you want to do, sometimes you might be okay with your job. Like, I was unhappy, okay, so I took that step. Some people
Yeah.
might be okay, they would not be unhappy, but they would not be happy either, so they would want something else. So in that case, okay, you can tap into your passion, and that something else, becomes your pursuit. And in some cases like mine, it can be, that you convert your passion into a profession. So that's what I help people with. Okay,
Nice.
passion into either a pursuit or a profession.
Yeah. Did you find it hard to become an entrepreneur, or did you already had a little experience from your family or close friends? Or
No, nobody in my family is actually an entrepreneur. I come from a very middle class family. My dad was in the defense forces. So, I've seen salaried jobs throughout my life. In fact, in India, it's sad to say, as relative to the Western world, uh, women are educated, but in terms of labor force participation, their participation is way down. So
Hmm.
I am the first woman in my family actually who even worked as an outside home and
Oh
went
yeah.
out to pursue a profession. And when I married, that became a big problem in my future home, because they had never seen a woman go outside home and work.
Yeah.
But that's a separate story. So the thing is, okay, even with me, even earlier, it was sort of a trend setting thing of a woman going out to work.
Yeah.
And then when I gave it all up and became an entrepreneur, my family members thought in a good way, because they were concerned about me. They thought that I had gone crazy. First, they thought I was a crazy when they met me, that I'd started working. Then after
Yeah.
14 years, when I gave it up, they thought I was crazy to give all that money and everything. To do what? I'm like, writing and coaching. They're like, writing? Who does? I mean, where do you get money by writing? I mean, you were doing writing even in your job. I mean, obviously presentations and reports were also
Yeah.
writing, right?
Yeah.
And then coaching, I had to explain to them what coaching is. They were like, for them, coaching was like, those tuition classes in education. So I had to explain them. So yeah, no role model as such.
Yeah.
But I would say, Arvind, what helped me, because see, I knew I had to do coaching. I wanted to serve people, and that is where when I enrolled into a coaching certification, my thought was to get better at the art of coaching, right? Because I wanted to help people the best possible way. You know that coaching is not regulated, so certification is not really a compulsion. But I
Yeah.
thought it is only fair that, in order to give your best to people, you should invest in yourself and come to a certain level. It was only when I entered into it did I realize that, okay, coaching is not a practice, but a business, and you have to work on your business, because
Yeah.
clients, just because you change your LinkedIn profile and say that you are a coach, that does not mean the people will come to you, hey, Smita is there,
Oh, no,
please
no,
coach
no.
me. So it does not happen like that. So I would say, uh, it is only 3-4 months down the line that I started coaching, that it came to struck me that, hey, I am an entrepreneur. Otherwise, what I was doing, I was coaching, I was reaching out to people, say, okay, give me I'm practicing, give me some practice hours. And then it turned into something else. And then I realized, okay, there is a limited circle I have to propound myself outside that circle and get clients. So to that, I have to be in social media. I only was on LinkedIn till May last year, because I was in the corporate world, right? LinkedIn was the only social media account that is
Yeah, yeah,
important
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It is only after that I opened a Facebook account and Twitter and Instagram, because I thought it was important to be in the 4 key social media and all.
Yeah.
And it was while doing these marketing activities that I realized, hey, this is what this is, being an entrepreneur about. And what I'm doing is actually a business and not a practice. And that is the way to go about it if you scale up. Okay. If you ask me personally, purely from a financial viewpoint, okay, I would be happy if I coach, 3-4 clients a month. And because, see, as I said, because I've worked to a certain time, and the good thing, being the person I am, I had also planned my finances in a certain way. So I'm not here, so there is no pressure of earning money as such. And I know that I'm fortunate, not many people might be in that position, but fortunately I am in that position. So there's no pressure that, okay, I have to earn that much to sustain myself. So I would be happy from that perspective, okay, purely if I look at it, that, okay, I'm engaging myself and I'm happy. But I also want to serve people, okay. I know that I have so much to offer to this world, and I am like, if I limit myself to this small setup, of coaching these 3-4 people a month, one on one, and yeah, there are so many people in the world who could do with the services that I am offering. So
Yeah.
I am actually doing a disservice if I don't market myself and let them know at least that they have the option, and let them try that option. And unless I do that, I will not be, I want to, you know, I want to come into contact with as many people as possible and make sure that they get up every morning with a smile on their faces.
Nice.
And for that, I need to spend time working on my business. And yeah, that's why I am doing it. It is for, this, I have this dream in mind that one day, I'll be speaking on I've spoken on a stage, but I will be speaking on this big stage with the hall full of 10,000s of people. And I'll be telling them, you can all get up in the bed from your beds with a smile on your faces and look forward to your day. And there will be so much positive energy around in the room.
Yeah.
And and when those people go out, they will carry that positive energy out into the world, and the world will become a better place. See, you can't give love to people until you love yourself. You can't be positive to others until you are positive within. And that
Yeah.
is my dream. I want to help more and more people to be in charge and in control of their lives and be positive. So that is
Nice.
why I'm doing what I'm
Nice.
doing.
I can even feel the passion in your voice, and it's beautiful to see. So I think we could talk for hours if we wanted to.
You
um,
bet.
yeah. Um, do you have a little tip or a little piece of wisdom that you would like to share the audience?
Yeah. Okay. So, sometimes you are too busy in the hustle bustle of life to lose in touch with the things that you like. Okay. So, a simple question like, what's your passion? You might find it difficult to answer. Okay. So, in that case, if you don't know what your passion is and you're going through your life in an autopilot move, There are 3 simple questions to ask yourself and take that first step to discover or rediscover your passions. Okay. First question: what was the last activity that you did when you lost all track of time? Just remember that it might be far back in the childhood, it might be as recent as last week, but just ask yourself that question and take note of what activity it is. The second question: if you were to be locked up in a bookstore overnight, which are the corners you will find yourself in or you will go to? Okay.
Mhm.
So that will give you the second hint. Okay. Do you go to spirituality? Do you go to religion? Do you go to management? Which are those corners? The third question: given free time with your laptop or the internet connection, whatever, which are the websites you will find yourself going to? Okay. So these are the 3 questions. Answer those and note down the bullet points, and you will get the hint. Okay, what are the activities I like? What are the areas I am interested in? Could one of these be my passions? So these are just some quick questions to get you to start thinking and
Nice,
find the answer within yourself.
nice. And they're actually very valid questions as well. You know, they're I wouldn't say easy to answer, but it gets your mind thinking. You know, what would I like? What would I do? You put yourself in that position, and that will indeed give you already some certain direction. Yeah,
Yes.
great questions, Smita. So, if people want to know more about you or get in touch with you, how can they do that? Where do they need to go?
Yeah, so they can log on to my website, www.lifecoachsmitadjain.com. And right on the site, essentially on every page of that site, there is a booking app. So it's simple. So they can actually book a complimentary strategy session with me. So they can click on that book a complimentary session link. It's right there on the on the first thing they will see when they log into the site. And looking at the dates on my calendar, they can book a session with me at a suitable time, and then we can
Nice, nice. And how will they find you on social media? You said you were on LinkedIn, Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram.
yes. So I am on LinkedIn, Smita Das Jain. That is my handle. On
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, my handle is Smita D Jain. And Facebook, the handle is Smita Das Jain. I'm also on Twitter, same Smita Das Jain 1.
That's
So
easy
these
to
are the
remember.
handles. Yes.
Well, thank you, Smita, for sharing your passion. Lovely to hear it, and I can feel the energy. You know, it's coming into my room, so I hope the audience will find the same. Find out more about Smita on her website. Connect with her, follow her, do everything, but most of all, follow your own passion. This was Follow Your Passion podcast with my guest, Smita Das Jain, and I'm looking forward to see you next time. Thank you for all and have a great day. I hope you liked this episode. Make sure to check out the other episodes because each one is filled with interesting and inspiring stories and energy. Are you following your passion as well and make a good living out of it? Contact me and you could be my next guest. Would you like to follow your passion but are not there yet? Check out my website millionairelifestrategy.com and book an appointment to discover what I could do for you. Don't forget to share the podcast with your friends so that they get inspired as well.